All right, we are starting off this adventure going up north. So I know I haven't been here in a while, and by that I mean maybe 5 months or so. That is because I did, in fact, have a baby, and I was super pregnant at the end, and I couldn't adventure or really make art with a newborn. Yep, there's my baby. I did have a baby, and I'm excited about it. Anyways, okay, so we are heading up the Fraser Canyon. Now, this is just a nice quick video to show you what it looks like driving up through British Columbia and checking out the way the scenery changes. So we're just at the very beginning of the Fraser Canyon. You can see the Alexandria Bridge down there in the river. And right now it's still mountainous, but my friend, it's not going to stay that way forever. So one thing about the Fraser Canyon is that it has a ton of tunnels, so it's actually a really great drive if you just want to go up the Fraser Canyon, and then you can take a road and turn up towards Lillooet and come back through Whistler and then back to the Fraser Valley. That's a really great loop if you just want to check out the Fraser Canyon and those areas, and then come back through Whistler and do that in a day. I've done that in a day. You could also do it if you want to stay at Whistler and have an excuse to stay at Whistler for just overnight and break it up into 2 days. You could do that too. But we're going to start off mountainous and head through the canyon. You can enjoy the tunnels and the great views through here. It's beautiful. Now, we did go through here in the very beginning of August, so there was, of course, forest fires. So right now, I keep rolling down my window to film, but I can't do that for much longer. You can see I just popped it up because there's so much smoke, and we are going to be going past a wildfire in this video. So you can see these are all burnt trees, not from this year, but from the previous year. Some of the areas that we drove through were heavy wildfire areas in previous years, including Lytton, Ashcroft. We go through all those different areas, and then the day that we are driving here, when we went through Ashcroft, it was 40 degrees Celsius. It was so hot, and my baby was only 2 months in this car ride. Now, we are actually heading up to Prince George in this video because my sister's getting married, so it is a long drive, and there was a lot of stops for us. And you can see the wildfire smoke up in the top corner there. You can see it smoldering up on the hill. And that's the thing about wildfires. Sometimes you see them with full blazes and embers, and they look very scary on the news, but not all the time. Sometimes you get wildfires looking like this, and you have them just tons of smoke and tons of smoldering from a distance. That's what it looks like anyways. On the ground, I have no idea. Either way, not fun and not great. And unfortunately, a lot of them are man-made, which is just really sad. You can see all the different hot spots down there. You can also notice, if you look, there's a little black dot hovering over some of those smoldering areas, and that's just the helicopters coming in. So if you're watching this video from a different area, a lot of the time we fight our fires with the helicopters, with the buckets. We do have those planes that were very famous from the California wildfires, that they come in and drop the water with, those yellow planes. Those are very popular around here as well. And because we have a lot of lakes, we can grab water and drop. But you'll notice there's a lot of helicopters in here. But anyway, we are heading up to Prince George for my sister's wedding with a 2-month-old, which means that there's a lot of stops because we have a baby. We can't just drive it in the 8 hours that it normally takes. We have to stop for our infant. All right, and now you can see the landscape has changed. So that's the crazy thing about British Columbia. A lot of the time we only think of it, or if you're not from this area, you'll think of it as being just a lot of trees, a lot of big mountains, snowy hills, but that's not always the case. So here we actually have a lot of desert areas as well. And right now we are going through some hot, deserty areas. It's again very smoky. You can see the quality of is not that crisp when you look at the mountains, right? There's a lot of fog in front of it, and that's just a lot of smoke from the fires. And you can really smell it. It smells like burning wood everywhere. And then we arrive at some of the small towns, beautiful, quaint little towns sprinkled throughout British Columbia. And you can see like some historic buildings are even there, just from the different communities that have, and types of communities that were here through the ages. A lot of lumber mills. But yeah, lots of little communities on the way. Now, this is one thing I didn't realize as somebody who lives in BC, but I didn't realize how flat that some of the areas could be. So you can see the trees are a lot smaller already. You could tell we've gone up north, but look how flat it is. That was something that I didn't expect. So new to me, I didn't realize that there were areas that weren't very mountainous in BC. Now, especially when I think about north, I'm like, oh, it must be even more mountains. And I'm sure there is, but not the way we were going. And not in this area. But anyway, we are now in 100 Mile House. This is Lac La Hache. There is a provincial campground here, and lots of places to stay if you're looking for some camping. I would definitely check it out. It is a nice lake, and has obviously a nice little community here. And we just stopped at the park just for a quick little look around. Obviously, there's lots of great places to picnic if you are driving through. Places to go to the washroom if you are, again, driving through or visiting. And it is a nice little area to take a dip in the summertime. And there are lots of people here. It is beautiful. It is actually BC Day when we are visiting here, so in a couple seconds you'll see a little parade of golf carts that we saw. But yeah, great little lake.
They're all drinking and driving.
Yeah, that one's the best.
Oh, look at this guy.
So cute. Oh, God. Things you see when you go out for holidays, right?
That's what happens in small little communities like this, eh?
This is Williams Lake, so we are just coming in down the highway, coming around the corner, and boom, there is Williams Lake, a much bigger community. So if you're looking for somewhere to stop and rest, Williams Lake is the place to do it. We stayed at the Best Western. It's clean. And then as we were driving, we noticed there was an old BC Rail caboose hanging out in a yard. So we quickly got the drone out to snap a shot. And then we took a little detour, so I didn't end up filming anything in Prince George just because we had no time because it was a wedding. But we did take a little detour. We saw from the highway, almost when we were close to Prince George, we saw this Tressle bridge. So we were like, let's get onto the Forest Service Road and see if we can find, you can see the train bridge there, but we're going to try to find this train trestle bridge. It was an old BC Rail track back in the day that used to come up here, now owned by CN. Heritage Village Lookout. Ooh, it's very warm. Oh, cool. Look at that view. See all the different spaces down there. Somewhere there should be a trestle bridge that we're looking for also. We're gonna keep going down to find that. And then on our way home back through the Fraser Canyon, we got a glorious view of the trains